Hi everybody, my name is Tammy and I'm here to talk to you about microgreens. Have you ever heard of microgreens? I checked into it a couple years ago. I came across my research and I did a little reading about it, but it never really went anywhere. And then recently a friend of mine said, oh, I got a project you can do. You ought to grow microgreens. I said, well, that's a good idea. So I did some research. And there's all kinds of microgreens that you can grow. But what are microgreens? They are young seedlings of edible vegetables and herbs. Unlike larger herbs and vegetables that take weeks or months to grow, microgreens can be harvested and eaten in a week to 14 days. The U.S. Department of Agriculture and the University of Maryland found that leaves from microgreens actually have more nutrients than the full-size plants. So nutrients vary by plant, but most include large amounts of vitamin C and E and beta carotene. Researchers found that cabbage contains the highest amount of vitamin C, radish, microgreens, the most vitamin E, and cilantro and coriander, microgreens contain 3 times more beta carotene than mature plants. Overall, the more colorful the veggie, the more nutrients it contains. So there is a whole list of different microgreens that you can grow. And I had decided to start with sunflowers. Now they are the black seeded sunflowers and they look like this. It's what comes in the mix, or you can get it right in the bird seed section, and it's the black sunflower seeds. And what you have to do is you have to soak them for at least 24 hours, which I did. And you change the water, drain them out and change the water about 12 hours. You can soak them for up to 48 hours if you don't have time or forget about them. That's not a problem. But at least 24 hours, soak them, drain them every 12 hours, and then you are ready to plant them. And they are so easy and quick to plant and grow. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get a container. Now you can get one of these potting containers like this, or you can get like an empty strawberry, blueberry container. You can get like one of those tin containers, but you need to make sure they have a drainage holes in the bottom before you do that. So I poked holes in the bottom of this one because I'm going to grow some crops, many crops. So I just put holes in the bottom of this one, and I put starting soil in it. And then I'm going to take my seeds here, and you want to sprinkle them really thick and heavy. They want to be really close together and not over layered, but they want to be very close together. And it's going to be hard for you to see because it's black on black. But so you sprinkle the seeds on the top of it, and then the key to it, you do not put soil on the top of these. What you're going to do, as soon as I get these all done and sprinkled, I don't have enough to cover the whole thing, but that's okay. I got about probably 3/4 of it done. So I put all the seeds in there, and then you're going to want to spray it with water really good because you want it good and moistened. And then you're going to want to keep it darkened until they start to sprout and come up. So we get a really good moisture this. And that's the key, is to keep it good and moisturized while you do it. Now I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's are all the seeds. So what you're going to do next is you're going to take something like similar to it and put it right over the top of it so it's dark. And you're going to want to leave that like that for a couple of days, and then you're going to check it. And then check it on the 3rd day. Every day check it, make sure it's good and wet, not soaking wet, but good and moisturized, and that it needs to start growing. Once it starts to grow, then you're going to take the cover off and you're going to let the sunlight get to it. And then you're going to watch it, and you're going to keep it moistened with water, and then keep spraying it, don't soak it. And once it gets to 2 or 3 inches is when you are going to want to harvest it. Now every seed that you do, every microgreen you do is going to be a little different, but the sunflower seeds only have the 2 leaves on the top, and it actually still has part of the seed on it. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take the seed off of it when you go to harvest it. And I tell you what, they are really edible just by themselves. You can add them to a salad, you can add them to stir fry, sandwiches, or just eat them plain. If you like sunflowers, you're going to like these, and they're very nutrient. So that is how you get started with doing a sunflower seeds for microgreens. And I've done a couple of batches, and this is my 3rd batch. So I will go on to step 2 and show you how to do the next step. Hi everybody, I'm here for part 2 and 3 of microgreens. So this is the second stage. After they start to come up and you take the cover off, this is what they're going to look like. You can see there's just a little bit of greens that are popping up. And you want to keep them good and pretty wet, not soaking wet. Actually, I got to water these again. You probably have to water them a couple times a day. Give them a good spraying down, but don't soak them. But you'll see that these are just starting to come up. Now, these are the sunflowers, remember. Now, there's all kinds of microgreens that you can choose, all different kinds. But I decided to do the sunflowers. They seem to be pretty easy. And then, so that happens about 2 to 4 days after you plant them. And then, within probably 6 to 7 days, they'll start coming up like this. Now, you can see that with the sunflowers, all microgreens are different, but the sunflowers, you'll see that the seed still stays on the tip of it. So you just have to take the tip of the seed off the tip of the plant. So you want to harvest these about 2 to 3 inches. So some of these are already ready to be harvested. So all you have to do is just clip it off like that and eat it. And it tastes just like a sunflower. I shouldn't talk with my mouth full. But, so what I've done is I already had a batch. This is like my 4th batch. And I clipped them down. I put them in a baggie. And they'll be good in the refrigerator for a few days. Keep them nice and cold. And I put it on my salad every day. Or you can put it in a stir fry. Or you can eat it plain like I did. Or whatever you want to do to get the greens in. But this is super, super easy for you to do microgreens. And it's so healthy. For most of us this time of year, we're not getting fresh vegetables out of the garden because the ground's frozen, it's cold. So this is a great way to get some nutrients in your body during the wintertime. And you don't need a garden, you don't need a lawn, you just need a little table. And you can do something this size, and you can keep growing. It only takes a couple weeks to grow sunflowers and start eating it. So if you had 2 containers, you can continually have something growing, and you can continually be eating fresh microgreens on your salad, and they're so nutrients. And it's so much fun, especially if you have kids. This is a great project to do with kids. And actually, speaking of kids, my big kid, my husband, likes to sit here and pick off these seeds at the end of them, which is good because then I don't have to do it. I just get to eat them. But it sits right beside his computer, which is behind me, and he just sits here and he just picks off the tip of the sunflower seed that's on the plant. So that's all there is to growing microgreens. Now, if you live in the area where I am and you would like to purchase some, I do will grow them for people, but by order only. I will not have one hand anytime, but it only takes a couple of weeks to grow them. So if you are interested in placing an order, just reach out to me by Facebook and private message me, and I'll be happy to chat with you. So that's simple, easy, great way to get nutrients in the wintertime until the weather is better and we can start planting in our gardens. And trust me, I cannot wait. I've got my seedlings going. All right, talk to you guys later.